Control your setup data in GitHub using Erik's ToolBox for Business Central. Hey, I'm Erik, and in this video I'm going to show you a new functionality in my toolbox where you can keep track of data inside Business Central, typically setup data, as if it was source code. Whenever I develop, I connect my development environment to GitHub, so I keep track of all the code I've written and changes made and so on. And GitHub keeps track of everything for me. And for a long time, I've wanted to do the exact same thing with setup data. Who changed what value when, and the ability to take data that is very controlled from one spot to import into another and so on without the challenges of config package and so on. Let me show how it works. So here is my toolbox, and in newest version, and it has gained a menu because too much functionality, so now it has a menu. And we can see here that we have a menu item called data in GitHub. And right now it's empty. So the idea is that you connect your toolbox to a GitHub account, and then we connect it to a repo. So let's create a repo. I almost like prepare everything. So I'm creating a new repo here. I'm adding a README because stuff is weird if your repo is completely empty. I guess that is all she wrote. So I create a repo. I select an owner, actually. I need to do that, and I need to make it private. So I have a repo now. With that, I can go in here in Business Central. So I selected data in GitHub. I say new demo data 2. And ask to get branches. There's one branch and it's empty. So if we go look and see if there's nothing in there, let's add something. We can add, how about we add table 79 and table 3. So right now I've just said that these are the tables I want to have in my repo. So I mean that if I go here and say view on GitHub, there's nothing here. If I commit, then everything that's in those tables right now will be committed to GitHub. So let's take a look at that. So we can go back here, refresh this page, and we can see that now there's been 2 commits, the initial commit when I started the repo and the one I did just now. You see that in the history here. And there are now 2 extra files. Here's table 79, company information. And we can see that this is just JSON. So this is very readable. The phone number is here. I could, if I wanted to, I could edit this file in something else. I could even edit it here if I really want to, and say, okay, let's change the phone number to let's actually just change the address to, instead of 220 Young Street, then 221. And I'll commit this. So now I have made a change to this file as a non-Business Central person. So if I go back in here, I could actually go and say, okay, let's grab this table again. So if I pull this one, replace content. So if we go into company information now, wow, company information, we're on 221. And maybe that was not the right one. So let's move back across the street to 220. And I can do, if I close this and open it again, it will say that, hang on, now this one was updated after our last commit. So so we can commit this one now. Just go commit, then it will commit all tables, even though there's no changes in this one, or you can do the selected ones. And if we go back here and we refresh this one, we can see that we are back on 220. And if I go and select the repo now, there are 4 commits. So the initial commit, and first from Business Central, and then where I updated it outside of Business Central, and the last commit here. The last commit here, there's only actually changed one table. So even though we sent both of them up, there were no changes in the other one. So GitHub figures that out and removes that from the commit. So let's say that we're working with, this is just here we are playing, but at some point now we need to go into user acceptance test. So we could go and then create a branch. So let's create a branch from main. And of course, right now those 2 branches are the same. But let's say we go in here and then we ask to get the branches. So now we have both branches in here. So we'll switch to this branch. And the switch to branch and replace content in table with data from the branch. Sure. We do that. Of course, there's no change here because those 2 branches are the same. But if we go back into company information, wow. Information, that's really hard to type today. Company information, and we move back across the street. Actually, it says UAT branch here already. And now we commit this one again. So let's go in and look at the branch. This one is changed. We commit again. And if we go back to the UAT branch here, then there's a commit here. So now we have 2 branches, and one branch is on one side of the street, the other branch is on the other side of the street. And we can see this one is one branch. This branch is one commit ahead. And depending on whatever Git tools you have, you can look at graphical representation of how these things are, and use whatever Git tools you have in that toolbox. What I can do now is to say, okay, let me go back to main branch again and say I'll switch to that one. So we'll switch to that one. If we go back into company information, we are back on the other side of the street. So we can flip between sets of data. There are 2 settings in the setup I just want to briefly mention here. One is to define the JSON format. If we're gonna do tables, we can basically do any tables we want, apart from protected tables. But I have not envisioned this to be stuff that handles a bunch of records. But if you have a lot of data and you don't really care about necessarily about the readability in here, because there's a lot of text, right? So you can ask it to be compact. If you do compact, then the name of the field and the type of the field is not shown in the JSON. It's just the field number and the value, which is enough for the toolbox to work with the file. But having the name and the type is certainly easier for humans to read. The other setting in here is the empty tables before pull. If you're unsure if you're pulling data in and you're unsure whether you should the toolbox should just empty all data from the tables before putting something else in, then turn this off. It's off by default. turn it on for this video. So if you have like production and different sandboxes, you can look at the same repos and pull data in from whatever branch into production you want, making this one a great way to keep track of a going live project. But there's also another interesting bit here, is that after you've gone live, if you have certain requirements of keeping track of your data and who changed your setup and so on, you could periodically, you can select what tables you want to have in your almost like a change log, right? And then just commit every day, every week, just to keep track of when something was changed, and thereby use the Git tools for that. That's a quick overview of the new functionality for maintaining, working with your data as if it was code and keeping it in GitHub. If you want to try out the ToolBox, it's free to use in a cloud sandbox, or it's also free to use in a Docker image, as long as the Docker container identifies as a sandbox. So give it a try, give it a go, and there's more information in the links below. Thanks for watching.